Hi, everybody. Welcome to D-Town TV, the free weekly show for DSLR shooters. My name is Matt Kloskowski.
No, Mercy.
I haven't said that in a long time.
I know. See, I was just like, we just did a couple of takes, and I was just like, come on, Matt.
Get in there. It took one take to get there because we just started, and I just sat there and looked at the camera. But I've been here for a while, so I wanted to jump on and co-host a show.
How you doing?
That was good.
So what you got?
Well,
we got a bunch of things. We got a bunch of things.
Yeah, we got Jaime Maisel. We got a couple giveaways. I got a tip on. I'll cover a little bit later on shooting, where you see that side lighting where people are always kind of lighting the sides of people and the sides of their face. So I got a good tip on that. But I think the first one up, Jaime Maisel.
Yeah.
Street shooting.
Right. He's got a little tip on street shooting. Take a look at this. Quick tip. What can you tell us about street photography? What kinds of things you need to keep in mind?
Well, one of the things you have to understand is that it's not how much ground you cover. It's not how fast you walk. It's about what you get to see. And covering ground doesn't equal seeing things. And sometimes it's a good idea to follow the opposite advice of what you normally hear. In other words, don't do something. Just stand there. Let the world come to you.
Oh, great tip. This is Jaime Maisel. Not bad, huh?
Oh, that's Jay.
He's colorful.
We can't say.
No, you can't say it. It just bleep.
He's freaking good.
Yes, he is.
It works for Jay. It just, I don't know if it would work for us.
That man drops an F-bomb like a comma.
Yeah, we'd have to bleep it out, but for some reason you can keep it with him.
Yeah, he's good. He's got it like that. But anyway, if you want to take a look at more information on Jay, make sure you take a look at jmaisel.com. He's got workshops. He's got a ton of different inspiration things. Take a look at that stuff. We're going to come back. When we come back, you've got a tip on side lighting.
I do. So, see you in a minute.
Stick around.
Hi, my name is Jack Woznicki, and I want to talk about a very serious subject, photographing children. And I tell a lot of secrets about how to get good reactions from kids, how to have kids look like kids. We have them jumping and going and twirling and doing a lot of fun things to get the kids to look like kids. You'll know what to do if a kid shows up with a green tongue. It was a lot of fun. You'll enjoy it.
Yeah, welcome back.
You taking pictures of the camera, taking pictures of you?
I was. Welcome back to D-Town TV, the free show for DSLR shooters. Mr. Matt coming in here and rounding out the bottom.
Yeah, I got there's a tip I wanted to share today, which you see a lot of, you see this a lot lately, where you call it side lighting, accent. I'm going to kind of use you as an example, where you actually turn to the side. Okay, sorry. Where you'll see people kind of position a light just right off to the side, and it'll just kind of add some definition. It'll put some light along the side of his shirt, some light along the side of his face. And so you'll see that a lot lately. And this is a tip that I learned from Joel Grimes, because Joel does a lot of this. He does a lot of it for compositing. So he uses that lighting to extract people. But whether or not you're using that light for extracting people or just it's part of your photo, one of the tips is to take a look at the photo that's on the screen here. So this is an example of typically what you want to try to avoid, because the light, the accent light, if you were to imagine, and there's another photo here, there's a setup shot of this, where you can see he's almost standing, like the accent light is right here. Mm-hmm. So it's a light that's right on the side. The problem is all that light starts to spill over onto the front, and it all starts to also spill over onto his face. And what it does is if you have two lights on the sides of people, you get these competing light sources and these competing shadows that start to do really weird things, almost like makes people look scary in a way, because you have light crossing over their face, so you got shadows coming both ways. It's typically what you want to try to avoid. So here's another photo of this. This is what I learned from Joel Grimes, which is you pull those lights back, and really, if you look at it and look at the close-up photo on the screen here, what you really want is you want the light to just kind of appear from here back. So almost like right along that cheekbone and back. And it just defines them. You don't need that light spilling over and lighting the front of them. That's what your main light's for, of course. So the idea behind that is pull those accent lights, pull those side lights back a little bit, and take a few test shots. And what you're looking for is just imagine that there's a line that goes straight down the side of the face, right along that cheekbone there. and you pretty much want your light to stay back. When you start seeing it get onto the nose, I'm not saying you can't do it. You know, it's photography. Know the rules and then break them. So it doesn't mean that you can't ever do it. I guess it's just one of those things, I think, that if you're aware of it, you'll see a lot better results typically by just kind of keeping that back a little bit.
Now, this might seem like a very obvious tip, but if you want to be able to see where those lights are, just turn your main light off.
Yeah.
A lot of the time people are like, well, how do I know? Just turn the main one off.
That's actually, and that's how I do it. That's how, like, when I'm starting a lighting setup like this, I'll turn the main light off, and I'll just have my accent lights turned on, and I'll take a couple photos, and the whole front of the face is totally dark, and then you can position those side lights perfectly to where you'll see exactly what part of the face that they're going to start to hit.
You seem to know a lot about this compositing thing. I wonder why.
I wonder why. Now,
we'll talk about
that later. There's another book I wanted to mention real quick because it's from a good buddy of ours and amazing photographer, Lori Excel. So she just has a book brand new. It's called Wildlife Photography from Snapshots to Great Shots. Lori is the person to learn from. So you got to check out this book. Lori's a great teacher and a great writer. So we're giving away a copy, aren't we?
I'm real excited. Yeah, we're going to give away a copy of this stuff, and it's kind of cool because it's like you get to see all of these different types of setups, right? So you'll have some setups, and then she kind of just does these markers and it kind of explains why she did what she did, and you get to see metadata information. So it's a great, quick, fun, inspirational read.
And it's a cool little series, the whole Snapshots to Great Shots. It's about how to take your photos from that, hey, I walked up and I just took this, I don't really know too much about it, to that next level and all the little tips that help get you there.
Nice, very cool. All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we've got a website for you guys to be able to take a look at. We've got some prizes and our giveaway.
A book.
Tom Bo here. We're at Copper Mountain in Colorado. We're working on a new class on adventure sports. We're going to look at a lot of different things in this class. Everything from high-speed sync fill flash to working in portraits in a ski area environment. We'll look at gear concerns, what kind of pack to carry, how do you work on and off a lift. There's a lot of logistics that go into shooting skiing. We'll talk about getting that classic powder shot. We're also going to do one of the most classic things for ski photography, and that's seaming together a whole sequence of moves. It's absolutely fantastic. It's going to be wild. Should be a great class.
Welcome back to another episode of D-Town TV, the free show for DSLR shooters. We got Matt in. My name's RC.
And RC.
That's right.
That's you.
That's you.
I'm Matt. You're RC.
That's right. He's over there.
We're us.
That's right. We're us.
All right. So you have a little piece of gear.
Yes.
That you wanted to.
Oh, yeah, that's right. All right, let me talk about this just ever so briefly. There's really nothing here. Totally forgot about it. This thing right here from Optech USA. I was at Photo Plus. Matt's forcing me to tell this story because I thought it was stupid.
There's more to the story. You tell your side of the story.
All right, my problem with this was I always carry my cap.
Yeah.
And whenever I put my cap on, I tend to carry my camera like this all the time, which is also kind of a tip. But a lot of the times people carry their cameras like this and the lens is poking out. And when the lens is poking out, you're always smacking it on something.
Yeah.
And you can mess up your lens. Also, it tends to look a little touristy. So whenever I shoot covert, like I do,
he's a covert shooter.
I always keep the camera pointed like this.
It's
so
in
the lens
sniping range.
So the lens is actually like this behind me. So it's very easy for me to be able to just kind of hide it. So I can walk around. I mean, this is a big honking camera. This is a D3S with a grip. So, but a lot of the times by
we're giving it away
there,
this episode, by the way.
Yes. No. So that was actually something that I got from Joe McNally. But what would happen is this camera would kind of bounce along my butt when I'm walking. And every time that it bounced on the butt, it would always have the
lens hood.
The lens hood. Or I would just walk in an airport and I'm just like bounce on the butt, clink, 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 the lens would go off.
Yep.
The cap would
Happens
go
to me
off.
a
I
lot.
have to get a new one. So I was at Photo Plus and I saw this thing from Optech. It's $5. It was a little hood. And I was like, dude, that's never gonna come off. That's great. So I put it on my camera.
Until today.
I put it on my camera and I walk into Matt's office and I go, hey Matt, I got the perfect tip. I found this thing. It's right here. And I pulled up my camera and it was gone. And I'm like, where is it?
Well, you have to set it up. He goes, I have my favorite lens hood. He goes, the lens hood that never falls off. And he pulls his camera up and he goes, uh-oh. He goes, I might not have my tip for today because he didn't say a word. He just walked out of my office and he comes back in. He goes, "It was by the door." But you kind of have a reason because you had your laptop
I had my
bag
book bag
and you
all that
had
stuff, and I was pulling it up and down.
Our RC doesn't ever travel lightly, if you haven't noticed. So when RC travels anywhere, he has at least 7 things around his shoulders. So
You know what else I have around my shoulders?
a tripod.
Eye stabilizer. Dude, I love this thing. And it's pretty cool.
It is cool.
So basically, it's a stabilizer for your phone. So Android
Put it
device,
around your shoulder.
iPhone, you can turn around and you can use it to be able to capture all sorts of pictures. We're going to give that away, and we're going to give away a copy of Wildlife Photography by Laurie Excel.
What do they have to do?
They have to go to the Kelby TV website, kelbytv.com/DTownTV. Leave a comment. Say
Leave 3
welcome, Matt.
comments.
Leave 3 comments. Welcome back, Matt.
Hey, I'm happy to. It's fun to co-host again.
You look
I'm just
nice
jumping
and
in for
flannel.
the week, but
I think it's good.
I know I have. It was cold today. It's
I know,
cold
dude.
for Florida, which why RC still. No, it was in the 60s this morning, which is cold for us.
It does get a little cold down here sometimes. But it's 2 different things. All you got to do is leave us a comment, leave us a tip. Tell us what you want to be able to see. Tell us what you're thinking about the things that you're seeing. And that's pretty much it. Now, if people want to see more of what you're doing, where are they going?
I have no idea.
They're going to go to lightroomkillertips.com.
So I have a Lightroom blog over on Lightroom Killer Tips.
You also do this little show,
I do this little show called The Grid, which you're
which
on.
is blowing up.
Well, you're on all the time too. So, so the show called The Grid. If you go to kelbytv.com, you can actually see pretty much all of the stuff that we do. So just go to kelbytv.com and you'll see all of our shows. Of course, over at mattkloskowski.com, Google+, all those fun places.
Right. Now, there is a website that I do want to leave you with.
Oh,
which
yeah.
I think is great photography. Jaime Ibarra. It's actually ibarraphoto.com.
See, I would have pronounced that
Jaime.
differently, RC.
What would you have?
But I'm going to go with your pronunciation
Jaime.
because
So-
I'm thinking it's better.
Jaime. There you go. Jaime.
Okay.
Jaime. So Jaime is this photographer
great-
out of Austin. Phenomenal.
Yeah,
phenomenal
really good
thing.
stuff.
And he's got this really. It's funny because it's like I heard somebody mention a specific style associated with it, and I was like, no. This is actually, it's cool. He's got a really, really nice sensibility of shooting people, and he's got a really nice sensibility of post-processing. And in an era right now, photographically, where there's just a lot of HDR, there's a lot of all of these different techniques. It was one of those things that kind of stood out of all of that. I was
Yep.
like, wow, that looks different. This looks good. So Jaime is one of those guys. He teaches the technique on his website and does all these kind of things, but great stuff.
I love it when you see people's photos. I mean, there's good photography, but when you see that style of post-processing start to develop, it's pretty cool because you could see it, but it's not like to me it's not overdone. It's just a nice casual style.
You could tell
too,
it's
so.
a Jaime shot.
Yeah.
And the cool
That's
part
what I
about
like,
it,
yeah.
The cool part about it is that I saw Trey doing it. Right, so Trey took a class with Jaime, and then all of a sudden Trey posted this. Trey Ratcliffe, right, one of the HDR pioneers out there, but he posted this picture. And he's like, "Here's a picture that I took of a monkey," and he did it in Jaime's style. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, "That's Jaime."
That's cool.
And it's a cool testament when you see somebody do that, and it's like that's your technique. Like
Awesome.
Dave Hill,
Yeah, exactly.
Trey, Jaime, the Matt.
Yeah, they call it the mat. It's exactly what they call it. I think we should end the show.
Yes, I think we should.
I think we should end the show on the mat.
Okay, let's
that's
end
good.
it on the mat. Thanks so much for stopping by. We will see you guys next week.
Take care, everybody.